So I'm so excited for you guys to be here, especially because we kind of put this together in such little time. But I wanted to share my story a little bit. Let's see, right there. All right, so I'm just gonna set the stage a little bit. Single mom, 3 kids, and I worked in the travel industry for about 11 years total, but at that time maybe 8. And I was diagnosed with cervical cancer, and I thought that my world collapsed completely around me. And I don't want to cry. So this girl was really depressed, really depressed. I didn't know what to do. The only thing that came through my head was, what if something happens to me? What happens to my kids? Is anyone gonna fight for them the way I fight for them? Because at the time we were having a lot of issues with my oldest daughter, later diagnosed as bipolar, and we didn't know what to do. And I fought through any and every system I could possibly fight to get her what she needed. So that was her, depressed and unhappy, trying to fake a smile because I've always smiled, and it just felt like what was the mask that I needed to keep up. So I did everything and anything. That was the day before my surgery, and I was scared, so scared. There was a convention in town, and before the surgery, I wanted to kind of not even think about it, right? So I went out with some coworkers and had a great time, but I look at that picture now and I'm like, oh my God, that's horrible. I could see the mask. Not that I was body shaming myself, I could see the mask of unhappiness that woman had. I did my first mud run at my heaviest weight. I started at 168 pounds. And then that summer, I was so depressed. I had the surgery, I had a follow-up 4 months later, and one of my biggest things, I've always been a risk taker, so I wanted to go skydiving. And I said, you know what, I overcame this for now. I don't know how much longer I have, so I'm gonna go check that off my bucket list. So I went skydiving, and I look at that picture and I wanna just it just turns my stomach. Go ahead. In August of that year, I was at that moment very broke. Don't get too much child support, which kind of sucks, because I was making very good money, but it was back to school, and it was summer camp for 3 kids all summer long, and it was my son's 10th birthday, and all of that cost a lot of money, and I had maxed out almost all my credit cards. And I had one credit card that had maybe $200 on it, and I saw this email come in, because I had once done this one workout program, and it was this dance program, and I said, ooh, I like to dance. I got the rhythms. I don't have the coordination, but I got the rhythm. And I decided to max my credit card out and buy my challenge pack. I didn't have a coach. I was somebody's free lead. So guys, there's unicorns out there that are me, that a week after, so that I could stay accountable, I snapped pictures of myself and posted them on Facebook and said, yay, I did it. I did my workout and didn't have anyone to hold me accountable, so I held myself accountable with social media. And a week later, one of my good friends, I went to a birthday party, and one of my good friends tells me, you should become a coach. And I was like, I am in no condition to coach anyone. I can't even coach myself. And and he's like, no, like you're doing everything that a coach should do. I had a friend that was a coach. He had no relation to Beachbody, but believed in me. And the next day, it was my first week of Size, and I decided to post my first video. And if you don't know Size is like a workout routine that shows you step by step how to do a whole routine. And at the end, you get to do the routine to awesome music. And I sucked for the first 4 days. Bad. But I have a lot of rhythm, so I could make it work. So I posted my first video on Sunday that week. And I had a bunch of comments, and he was the last comment of the night. It was like 11:30 at night, because I never slept. And he said, see, you have the ability to inspire people to make a difference for themselves. You need to become a coach. So I saw that, and it was 12:30 that night, and I signed up to be a coach. Never imagined how much it would change my life. That was my first transformation. I got rid of rolls, and it was so exciting. But I trekked along, and in the middle of October, I got the follow-up visit, and cancer had come back. And I didn't know what to do. The doctor told me, by the way, this was the 4th time in my life that I had cervical cancer. Before I didn't have kids, I was 18 and 19 years old. So the doctor told me, Maria, you really need to consider maybe doing a full hysterectomy. And I was like, what does that mean? Well, you'll go through menopause. I'm like, I'm 32 years old. Menopause at 32? Does that mean hot flashes? What does that mean? And he explained everything, and that sucked, yeah. But when you think about it, I don't know about you, but as a woman, I identify myself with my woman organs. Like my right to hold a child in my belly, that was gonna be taken away. And I didn't, like, it's not like I needed another child because, I had 3, but it was the right of that. And it took me about 2 weeks to decide. But I was on a business trip, and I watched the sunrise on the beach in Miami that morning, and cried and let it all out. And I finally said, you know what, I'm making the call. So it was 9 o'clock in the morning, I made the call, and I said, let's schedule it. Yeah. So my surgery was scheduled for December 9th. And through this whole time period, I had a coach that I finally got to talk to and everything, and I was in their accountability group, and they had helped me stay accountable, and they've helped me through the whole cancer process and being able to process it through my head and stick to my journey. I stuck to eating right. I stuck to after Size, I did 21-day fix twice. I lost 11 pounds with Size, 11 pounds with 21-day fix. 11 is my favorite number, so that was so weird that it happened that way. But by December 9th, I had a goal in mind, and I reached it. December 8th, I reached my goal of being under 150 pounds, and I was so excited. So I went, so nervous. I went to surgery for the second time. Happens to be that they were trying to save an ovary, they couldn't, so they had to take everything. And I felt the loss of that. But I stuck to my journey. And that's me now. I am a mama of 3 and I got abs. And I've danced my whole way through it. I've gone through massive struggle. I've had, like I said, my daughter is bipolar. I've had a long journey with her. I've had a long journey of heartbreak. I've gone through this journey losing my career of 11 years after a huge merge that they did. I was their highest paid director and the first to go. And from that moment, I said, absolutely no one will ever have that much power over me. I am going to do this on my own.
Yes.
So I continue to work on me. And personal development is like a thing that we do, which is amazing, and what has kept me going through all of this. And in the process of that, I'm happy.
Yes.
I'm happy. My kids are in a place where I could say I'm extremely freaking proud of them. My daughter is now able to ask for time instead of blowing up immediately, which is a huge progress. My other 2 have dealt with a lot with everything, and they're amazing individuals. All of them, they're so cool. All in their own right, all have their quirks. But I always tell them there's 2 things that I want for them, and that's health and happiness. I don't care about anything else. Be healthy, be happy, be you, be happy with you. And doesn't matter what, be unapologetically you. And how could I speak that if I'm not living it? And honestly, that is what this journey has done for me. It has given me a community, it's given me motivation, it's given me inspiration not only for people outside of my family unit, but for them. And I do this and I keep going because of them, because I have huge goals, because I want that lake house and I want to cross that stage next year. Hello, marking that calendar. I'm crossing that stage next year as a 15-star diamond coach, so help me God. It has brought a community of badass women into my life that I can't even imagine. And it's the support, and it's through the dating process, because I'm right back out there in the dating world. They've helped me get through the loss of my ex-boyfriend, which was one of my best friends and my kid's stepdad for 5 years. And they've helped me get through his loss. They've helped me get through this crazy dating journey. But it's brought like a whole sisterhood that I never imagined, and completely changed my life. So